Hello and welcome to this special program to celebrate the anniversary of the adoption of the National Action Charter in the Kingdom of Bahrain. We celebrate this year with the theme of Charter of Gold. The National Action Charter Monument is a symbol of the evolution of democracy in Bahrain. It is a gift from His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa to the people of Bahrain, marking February the 14th, 2001, the 9th anniversary of drafting and the approval of the National Action Charter that paved the way towards the country's comprehensive development march and prosperity. Its walls embrace the names of the citizens who witnessed and took part in one of the biggest and most important democratic events in Bahrain. In its main exhibition gallery, visitors will be able to explore multi-modal documentation of various achievements of the Bahraini people. To talk more about that, we are joined today by His Excellency Shaikh Hamad bin Isa bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa, the General Director of the monument. But after this break. Welcome back. Thank you very much, Shaikh Hamad bin Isa bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa, for being with us today and answering some of our questions.
Thank you for having me.
First, before we actually start the questions, there is no better person than you to actually talk right now and give us a few words from yourself about the National Action Charter anniversary.
The National Action Charter anniversary is a big day and a big occasion for every Bahraini. It's the start. The National Action Charter, the vote on it was the start of the democratic journey of this nation. It was the start of the day where people exercised their political right and voted. And it's a tradition that continues on to this day, and we're very proud of it.
Yes. Now, the establishment of the monument itself has a very long and deep story behind it. This story was embedded within the structure and the architecture of the building itself. Can you tell us a bit more about the monument?
Yeah, the monument was under order of His Majesty the King to commemorate the National Action Charter and the day the people of Bahrain exercised their right and voted. Yeah. And it's a unique monument. It's a state-of-the-art museum that at the same time has more than 220,000 names engraved onto its walls. It's the only building that has that amount. There is no other structure that comes close. And it's freezing that moment in time. Those Bahraini people that exercised their right and voted on that day have their names forever on these walls.
Yes.
And it documents that day. And of course, His Majesty the King wanted that day to live on and wanted to commemorate that day. And we have the National Charter Monument, which is one of Bahrain's major landmarks.
Yes.
And it's something that we're very proud to show off.
Yes.
And at the same time, our motto is National Charter Monument is the vision of a king and the story of a nation.
Yes.
And it really is. When you come and you visit our monument and you go through our gallery, you see that very clearly.
Yeah. And also the history of Bahrain, whether it is past and also the present history of Bahrain, is really commemorated in all of its exhibitions, and it has several exhibitions within the museum itself. Can you talk to us about those?
Indeed it does. I mean, when you go through our gallery, you go through Bahrain's past and present, you see Bahrain's achievements, you see where Bahrain was and where Bahrain has become. We talk about our Islamic creed and our Arabic heritage.
Yes.
And it's a very interactive state-of-the-art facility. And the main target audience for this facility, for this gallery, are the school children of Bahrain. We have a unique monument. There is no other monument that gives the visitor a sense of belonging, where when the children come, mainly the children, when they come and they go through the monument. On their way out, they go to find their parents' names. And it's very delightful to see. It's something that's very heartwarming. And as soon as you see their faces light up and brighten up, the second they recognize their parents' name, it's something that we need to harness. And under the guidance of the Ministry of Education, we've been able to do that. We've been able to foster that sense of belonging, that sense of citizenship, that sense of being one hand together and building this nation and going forward.
Yes. Actually, the Ministry of Education has also put a lot of effort now in even making a stronger curriculum when it comes to citizenship and patriotism and so on. Do these things go hand in hand, where people go to landmarks and where they study it in school and so on?
Yes, I mean, the National Charter Monument is under the Ministry of Education, and our collaboration is to the highest level. So when students start learning about citizenship and start learning about Bahrain's constitution and the National Action Charter itself, at that same time they facilitate visits to the monument. And when they come in, it really goes in hand with what they're learning at school. They come and see it. And at in our gallery, the facilities are state-of-the-art and they're interactive, and they're really aimed at that age group to capture their imagination, to get their attention, and to have them feel really engrossed. And by the time they leave, they've learned all this history, they've seen their country, they've seen its past, its heritage, and on their way out, one of the last things they do is they connect themselves to that monument by finding their parents' names on it. And it's really something special, and I'm very proud that this is our responsibility at the National Charter Monument.
Well, Bahrain is a country that has always been a country of peaceful coexistence, cultural tolerance, as well as love between different cultures that live on the island. And this has not just happened the last 100 years. This has been here for thousands and thousands of years. When you look at the Delmonian civilization and whatever came after that, these were people from all over the world that came and made of Bahrain a home for them on their way to their actual homes. And in your one of the exhibitions or sections, the Islam and Tolerance section, it explores the importance of the Arabic heritage and the Islamic religion, which are pillars of Bahrain's genuine identity. And part of that is also the coexistence. Tell us more about that specific section, and how does it represent the kingdom's real image?
Yes, so Bahrain's identity is Islamic and Arabic, and in that identity itself, Islam is a religion of tolerance that accepts everybody. And then there's the Arab sense of hospitality. So that combines perfectly, and our country is a country that welcomes everyone and that embraces all different cultures and many different faiths, and we emphasize that. I mean, it is our religion and it is our culture, and we reflect that, and it's very reflective in our gallery. When you come and see, when we talk about Islam as a religion in Bahrain, it goes hand in hand with the tolerance of Islam and with our culture and with our hospitality, and how Bahrain is a melting pot of many cultures and many religions and people on this island working hand in hand over the years, and will continue to do so, inshallah.
Inshallah. Not only children visited the museum, but over the years also we have some delegations that came to Bahrain, and were lucky enough to go and visit the museum. What can you tell us about the reaction that people have once they see everything going on in the exhibition sections?
Yeah, well, the National Charter Monument is a landmark, and it's a showpiece, and I'm very happy to show it off. I'm happy to say I have never seen a reaction less than amazed or astounded or surprised in a positive way. It's never a bland reaction. Yeah. It's something that is it's something that's awe-inspiring, and I'm very happy to see those moments captured when these people come and visit. Whoever comes and visits, guests of His Majesty the King, delegations from foreign governments, and so on and so forth. I'm very proud to show off this monument. It is a landmark, and it is something to behold.
Yes. Shaikh, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll get back to the discussion.
نعاهدكم أن نبقى بينكم ومعكم في كل خطوة ومرحلة من أجل رفعة البحرين.
على صرح العطا والمال شموخك يا حماد ممتاز، وعلى مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحال، غلاكم ما وصل لحال، وميثاق الولا المكتوب على منهاج ملك القلوب، جمعنا في طريق الخير وحقق غاية المطلوب، وحقق غاية المطلوب، على صرح العطا والمال شموخك يا حماد ممتاز، وعلى مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحال، غلاكم ما وصل لحال.
على صدر الزمان يبان دليل النهضة والعمران، وفي عهد الرخاء الزاهر تقارب يجمع الأديان، تقارب يجمع الأديان، ومغزى البعد في التفكير تجلى بحكمة التغيير، وشفنا بصمة العاهل على الإصلاح والتطوير، على الإصلاح والتطوير، على صرح العطا والمجد شموخك يا حماد ممتاز، وعلى مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحال، غلاكم ما وصل لحال. ومن يسأل هل البحرين غلاكم يا حماد في وين، يجيه الرد من شعبك ملكنا منزله في العين، ملكنا منزله في العين،
ونهتف من غلا باسمه حمد يا زارع البسمة، كفاية لحدان الضيق سقانا من كرم واسمه، سقانا من كرم واسمه، على صرح العطا والمال شموخك يا حماد ممتاز، وعلى مر الزمان بالطيب غلاكم ما وصل لحال، غلاكم ما وصل لحال.
Welcome back to this special coverage to celebrate the anniversary of the adoption of the National Action Charter. We are joined in the studio by the Charter Monument General Director, Sheikh Hamad bin Isa bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa. Sheikh, before we went on our break, we talked about the different delegations that have visited the monument. But specifically, I'd like to highlight that, especially in this past year, there were over 500 people or delegations that did visit the monument itself. Do you see that this number is increasing with the increasing activities that are being exhibited in the sections?
Yes, alhamdulillah, the increase over past years has been almost 50%. And that is only through the collaboration with the Ministry of Education. We've been able to collaborate and book visits to the site, to the monument, as many as possible. On peak days, we may have as much as 5 or 6 visits, depending on our scheduling. And it's been a huge success this year, 2 years past. And mostly these are school children. Mostly these are visits from school children, from government schools and from private schools as well. But we also have social societies that come and visit. People like elderly many of them, too long to list honestly, but all different segments of Bahraini society, age groups and backgrounds come and visit, and we're very proud of that, and we're looking to more and more visits throughout 2019.
Yes, inshallah. Now, what we have seen also is that, as you mentioned, the school children like the area where they get to find out with the CPR numbers of their parents or their grandparents where exactly the names are. But where is the section where you feel people mostly really take their time in reviewing and looking through?
Well, I'm very proud to say that the gallery is it's very attractive, and the different sections attract different people. The one common thing is the names. Yeah. I mean, everybody's amazed by that, but everybody finds a piece of the gallery that they can relate to.
Yes.
And it shows all different parts of life in Bahrain, our history and like industry in Bahrain and achievements of Bahrain. So people can be drawn to several aspects of it. And being that it's not a static gallery. It's not like paintings hung on the wall. There are many interactive exhibits over there that are mainly aimed to engross the children and to capture their attention. And it works. It works on everybody. I mean, I've seen lots of people, different ages, interact with these exhibits and do it over and over again. And the way our exhibits work is several places there are videos on demand.
Yes.
So you can pick and choose exactly what you want to hear about. And so each visit can be different every time.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I know Bahrain's history is massive, and it's so massive that it cannot be incorporated within one museum. We have the National Museum, we have, of course, the Action Charter Museum and other museums as well. What, from your experience or from your background that you see, is one of the most visited parts of Bahrain's history? Is it the pearl diving? Is it maybe some of the history of how the ships were built previously? Is there something in specific that you feel Bahrain's, the people that visit Bahrain always want to focus on and watch?
I mean, what you just stated, our Bahrain's previous industry in pearls and the dough building, our exhibit over there is very beautiful, and it explains it perfectly. I've seen especially foreign delegates, they tend to gravitate towards that because it's presented very beautifully, and it shows you step by step how dows are made and how pearls were extracted and the tools that have been used. So the exhibit is it does its job perfectly explaining it.
Yes. Well, we mentioned this before, but it's really important to augment the fact that the monument plays a very essential role in teaching the future generations about Bahrain, about the history, about how the Action Charter came to become the democratic movement that it is today. Can you tell us about the different actions that you take, or the different programs you do for the students depending on their age? Is there something you focus on with younger children rather than the older children and so on?
Yeah, I mean, under the direction of the Ministry of Education, around the 4th grade is where they start learning about citizenship and about the National Action Charter and about Bahrain's constitution. So a visit to the monument goes hand in hand with their learning. And we talk extensively about the National Action Charter and how it was conceived and the history behind it. So it's another learning tool.
Yes.
And different children learn differently. So you can see their interactiveness and how they're engaged in it. And it's perfectly balanced for that age. I see like the highest reception is for children at that age. We have different groups coming all the time, but the most effective, I believe, is for that age.
Yes, yes, perfect. Well, when it comes to spreading awareness about Bahrain's history and so on, we always look at the National Action Charter because it is the democratic process of Bahrain. So spreading awareness about what the Action Charter is and how it came to become, how important is it for people to basically have this word of mouth where their children or their friends abroad know what the National Action Charter is and how it has changed Bahrain forever?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of Bahraini identity. It explains the choice of our king and the choice of the people to go for this through this democratic journey. Ever since it's been enacted, we've had several election cycles and high voter turnout, and there's a high sense of nationality, of patriotism, of doing your duty when you go and vote. And that's really what it is. The more our country is represented, the better our society will prevail. And it's a proud part of our country and our culture and our heritage. And it's been institutionalized recently, but throughout the history of Bahrain, people would, in Arabic we say shura, people would basically talk about taking decisions together as a nation. So this has been institutionalized in recent history, but this is the culture of our country.
Yes, correct. A very important thing that we also mentioned at this point is the National Action Charter opened the doors for so many people in Bahrain. We see an increase in Bahraini women holding higher posts, the ability to vote, all of these things that were available before, but when the National Action Charter came, it actually put them on paper. And that is the importance of the National Action Charter to the people of Bahrain, because there were the freedom of speech, the freedom of working, equality in some regions of the government itself. But for you, in explaining the National Action Charter very simply and in your position, what would you say?
I mean, it is the start of Bahrain's democratic journey instituted, and as you've said, this enables Bahrain to put certain issues on a pedestal to promote forward, and it's a very effective way of doing that. And Bahrain has always been ahead in terms of giving people its rights and of promoting the citizen in many aspects. I mean, we're very proud to have the leader of our parliament being a female this time.
Yes.
And it is something that isn't new or isn't foreign to Bahraini culture.
Exactly.
It's not something that's hard to accept. We have a very open and progressive culture while we're still holding on to our Islamic and Arabic heritage, and it's the best of both worlds.
Perfect. Thank you very much. We're going to take a short break and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the museum.
استبشري يا دارنا بزين الاخبار، ميثاقنا ميثاق عز ومسيره، انت وحمد سر جمع كل الاسرار، فيها انكشف شوق المحبه وخيره. استبشري يا دارنا بزين الاخبار، ميثاقنا ميثاق عز ومسيره، انت وحمد سر جمع كل الاسرار، فيها انكشف شوق المحبه وخيره. بحرين صوبك تلتفت كل الانظار، بحرين صوبك تلتفت كل الانظار، يا مجدد عهد اللي فانا بشيره. حرة مقادها غير الأحرار عزت وعزوها على كل ديرة سيري على درب المعزة والأفخار انت منار الشرق في كل سيرة يا حرة مقادها غير الأحرار عزت وعزوها على كل ديرة حمد حمدنا يا ملا سر وجهار حمد حمدنا يا ملا سر وجهار ما حد سكن في قلوبنا اليوم غيره استبشري يا دارنا بزين الاخبار ميثاقنا ميثاق عز ومسيره انت وحمد سر انجماع كل الاسرار فيه انكشف شوق المحبه وخيره شعب اللجل دره رخص كل الأعمار متكاتفين وكل أبوهم عشيرة جاسوا لجل در الفخر كل الأخطار موت المعزة ولا حياة مريرة شعب اللجل دره رخص كل الأعمار متكاتفين وكل أبوهم عشيرة جاسوا لجل در الفخر كل الأخطار موت المعزة ولا حياة مريرة شبوا فتايلهم على واهج النار شبوا فتايلهم على واهج النار يوم الليالي بالعطايا عسيرة استبشري يا دارنا بزين الأخبار ميثاقنا ميثاق عز ومسيرة انت وحمد سر انجماع كل الأسرار فيه انكشف شوق المحبة
Welcome back to the final segment of our show today. Sheikh, one of the very important parts of the monument is the way technology was integrated into the museum's different sections. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I mean, the National Charter Monument opened in 2010 and it has state-of-the-art technology. It's not a static gallery. The gallery that we have is interactive, filled with, it depends, it needs the visitor's input to go forward. So it's done in such a way that is very immersive and that requires the visitors to put their input in. And it's entertaining for all ages, and it's done in a very nice way.
Yes. Also, we know that there was a lot of multimedia that was actually done for the museum, like the different videos that you mentioned previously. What can you tell us about how these videos were produced, or the different videos that are produced for the monument?
Well, these were all done professionally specifically curated for our gallery at the National Charter Monument, and the use of technology is different. I mean, as I've said previously, we have interactive videos that are on demand that will explain different sections of it based on the input, and there are little games that children love to play, like when explaining the routes that the ships take, Bahrain as a port throughout the ages, all the different routes that ships take to come to Bahrain. So those are little interactive games, and they're still, I mean, it's been 9 years since we've opened, and they're still state-of-the-art to this day, and they're very immersive, and they do their job very well. And it's always, especially for first-time visitors, it's something that brings up a smile to their face. It's something that's unexpected. It's something that makes them want to engage further.
Yes, yes. Sheikh Hamad, the monument celebrates different social and traditional occasions along with the people of Bahrain through a number of annual initiatives. Yes, can you tell us a bit more about them, and how are they, or are they going to celebrate the Charter of Gold this year?
Yes, I mean, the February the 14th is the biggest day in the calendar for the National Charter Monument, and this year is the Charter of Gold, and very special celebrations indeed. But we celebrate all different occasions that are facilitated throughout the year and organized with many different parts of society.
Yes.
And the way that the monument is, I mean, our grounds make it very easy to do so.
Yes.
I mean, we have big grounds with a huge amphitheater and an indoor theater, a huge library, and many other facilities that we use throughout the year, and especially for all different occasions, and to interact with different segments of society.
Beautiful. Shaikh, we have regrettably gotten to the end of our show. I'd just like a couple of words from you on the Charter of Gold this year.
Well, I would like to take this occasion to congratulate His Majesty the King on the 18th anniversary of the National Action Charter.
Yes.
And I'd like to hopefully more progress in the future for our beloved country.
Yes, thank you very much, Shaikh Hamad bin Isa bin Ibrahim, for being with us today. And that is all from today's program. We also thank you for watching. Tune in for another episode of the special coverage of the anniversary of the National Action Charter, the Charter of Gold.